Okay, so here we are again, and this time we're actually using a gimbal, and Jane's behind the camera. Tapio, good to see you.
Great to be
Yeah,
here.
good to see you too. And Kaisla, great to see you. Aida, happy you're here again. So this is the next version of our web TV for OGR, and it's exciting because I think Tapio, you would have to be one of the most classic entries in the OGR. You're a true romantic. You're an absolute gem of a historian. You're an amazing sailor. You've got an incredible crew. I could go on and on and on. Would that be correct, Aida?
I'm old enough to be put into a museum.
I have. My question is more about. I hope that will not disturb your good mood today. But when I saw you arriving in Southampton with your beautiful boat, your cannon, and everything, I couldn't stop asking myself where you find the energy to, after we all know what happened to you in the last GGR, you lost the boat, then you went to prepare this one, and the boat was ready since so long time, and then you did the fastnet, and you dismasted. Where did you find in only 2 weeks the energy to put all that on, to put all your crew happy and arrive here smiling with your cannon, your music, with your pins?
And the grog.
Well, I guess it was the energy of the team that is helping me, and I've been just watching and admiring them to work, and they are super motivated and efficient, and have become also very skillful during the 3 years we have been working with the boat. So
yeah.
Should I ask the same question to the manager?
Well, we should set the scene.
We didn't say Pia is the manager
of
the Galiana WithSecure, and Kaisla is the youngest crew on board, 20 years old, I think.
Yeah. And we'll set the scene because some people may never have heard of Tapio before, and Galiana WithSecure and so on. Briefly, you did the Whitbread as a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
In 81. Yes. 81 as a 23-year-old in Scotbank of Finland. You've been sailing all your life. You also then had a yearning to go back to the Southern Ocean. You signed on for the first Golden Globe race in 2000, or the second in 2018 with Asteria, which you rebuilt. It was a hot boat. You rebuilt it. You went around. You had the wrong bottom paint. You were completely hamstrung with barnacles. You took 320 something days.
322.
322 days of solo non-stop sailing. The last guy to finish.
The last 19 left, only 5 finished.
Yeah, only 5, including
111 days after the winner, and 1 month after the prize giving, when Don and Jen were already in Beijing when I came.
Yeah, exactly. Then you, then the history, just to place it again, and we'll come back to how and why, but you then entered the OGR, okay, as soon as it was announced. And then while you had, you bought Galiana, while you were refitting that, you then re-entered, finished business into the 2022 Golden Globe race with Asteria again, which made some modifications. You made it down to Cape Town, headed out of there into the Southern Ocean. The boat sunk, which was just stunning. And then, I'll go back and carry on with Galiana WithSecure. And here you are now, after all these things that Aida just mentioned, and we're sitting around a table with a cup of coffee talking about the next one, the Ocean Globe race. So now everyone knows that it's not just an ordinary sailor. So yes, back to the question you had for Pia now as manager.
I have to have another one now because we moved on. I will ask you, Pia, what's the role of a manager? Because we always see you smiling. We see it boat so fancy, and maybe as a woman, I don't know, but I'm sure that if the boat was so nice, so ready, so all this young crew, because you have a lot of young crew on board, are ready and trained. I think a big part of the job is thanks to you. And how the manager can deal with all that, and with the news of the dismasting in the fastnet. When you heard that, you are on board? No, you wasn't.
Yeah.
You are on board.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us what you felt, how you felt. Yeah.
Well, I was the only one from the whole team that has experienced it before.
So, dismasting?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So I think you knew what.
Yeah, but of course it was devastating, and when it happened, the first thing was to just to get safely back to port. But after that, it's been work, because we've been working for this project for 3 years. So giving up wasn't an option.
Did you raise for you will be I forgot to mention you are the manager, but you are also crew on board.
Yes.
You will do all the legs, I think.
The whole boat does all the legs.
Yeah. And is that your first race or race before in your sailor life?
I've done small races, but I'm more of the family sailor and cruiser. So
it's a big experience for you,
yes,
adventure.
absolutely. I think it's for all of us. None of us has done anything like this big that Tapio has done before.
Question for Tapio. How long was it after you lost the mast that you first declared to the crew, well, that was lucky. We've got time to fix it up and still stay in the OGR?
I guess it was on the way back to Royal Yacht Squadron and Gosport that everyone knew that we are going to fix it and be at the starting line.
Yeah, too true. So Kaisla, how did you get involved? I mean, we talk about the young crew on board. It is pretty young, but are you the youngest? You're the youngest crew? Yeah. So how did you get involved? And maybe you can also just give us a rundown on your opinion of some of the other crew. Because there's quite a few. Not all. You don't have to think you remember all of them. But first of all, no, it's better to ask you than this guy. He'll tell stories. But yeah, how did you get involved and what's your feeling right now?
Well, first of all, I just heard about this project from reading Tapio's book from GGR, first one, and I decided to put a message to him that could I come and sail with him and see the boat and the project, get to know it. And somehow I just got into the project in the meanwhile. Yeah, and the other crew were all kind of pretty young. We have 9 younger, like under 35. Yeah, and then we have the older ones. Yeah.
The older ones.
The adults.
The adults.
The adults, it's only 3 on board, I think. You, Pia, and the
Ville.
chief mate.
And Ville, who is the co-skipper.
What's also
So
impressive.
I'm 65 and Pia and Ville are 50 years old. So, and the rest of them are under 25. Average age is 25.
You choose Tapio to sail with the same crew, all the legs, the same team. But what is impressive, you will sail with 12 persons in a boat which is not huge. Why you choose 12?
When I launched the project, I told that I'm looking for a team who will be between 20 and 35 years of age during the time of the race. So 3 years ago, I got 107 applications from Finnish sailors between the ages of 17 and 32 at that time. And from the applications, I chose, if I remember right, 55 sailors with whom we sailed the season 2020. And then the next season we had 20 people on board, and it was really tough for me to call the 35 after the first season and tell them that unfortunately you're not going to continue. And it was even tougher the next after the following season, and I was kind of sad that we didn't. I told them that we should have a square rigger to get all the good people sailing with us, and then I just wanted to have as many as we could fit in the boat to give them the opportunity and the experience, and maybe also to play it safe as the team is young and inexperienced. So we want. I don't want to squeeze the last drop out of them, but we are planning to have a pretty comfortable watch system with 3 watches. So you have 3 hours up on deck and 6 hours rest, and so we'll play it fairly, or we'll play it very safe and fairly comfortable.
In Finland, everyone knows you, but I noticed that also for you it looks like important to give to the young people. When I watch what you are doing on your social media or I read about you, you are very involved with the young people every time.
Well, I've always
What-
loved kids and I love sailing, and so I've been working a lot with youth sailing in Finland, and that's actually the way why Pia is in the team, because we have worked a lot together. Pia used to be the chairperson of the youth sailing committee of the Finnish Sailing Federation, and we have been organizing Optimist Sailing and many other youth
so
programs
that's-
together. So.
That's why, Pia, you know how to deal with so many young people on
Oh,
board in
yes,
such a
yes.
small area. I understand better now.
Yes.
You must have some stories, crew stories though. Problems. Give me one of the. You don't mention names. Just give me an example of some of the challenges. It all looks too good at the moment. It all looks too good.
Mm.
Well, maybe it is good.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've kind of grown into a big family, I think.
I said to Tapio this morning that we all tell to everyone that it's good that we know each other, that we've been sailing like 3
Yeah.
years with each other, but at the same time the honeymoon is kind of over.
Yeah.
It's like in a relationship, the things that were really cute in the beginning maybe start to irritate when you are a long time together.
Yeah.
And we have been 3 years together. So
Yes,
It
but
is.
after 3 years, if it doesn't broke, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think everyone has the attitude now that it
I-
has to work.
I got to say, we see a bit of you in the team, and it really looks genuine. Like there really is that feeling of family and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's a lot of unsaid things. How do you describe it? You have a group of people on the boat. It's not a lot of space. Everything you do on deck and the things I see, you can see everyone's working. It's not even as a team, but you're probably right. More like
No,
family. It's real.
I'm not surprised, amazed how good we are in the boat,
Yeah.
and even in port. We are 12 people in
Yeah.
that very little boat, and no one has tried to kill the other one yet.
When I started the project, I was expecting, like the programs we have been working together with Pia, for example, the youth program of our own sailing club. We had the motto for the program that from optimist to Olympics, and a very ambitious dinghy racing program aiming at the Olympics. And
Now,
I was kind of expecting that to when I launched the project, that we would end up having a team with everyone with a strong dinghy racing background. But in the end, after sailing through all the late season storms when it starts to snow and people being seasick, and we had a habit of leaving Helsinki on Friday evenings, no matter what the weather was like, having a dinner first together in a restaurant in the center of Helsinki, and then sailing out in the dark and rain and beating the first night, regardless from where the wind was coming from. We would beat against it, and then by Sunday evening we would come back in, and this kind of shaking the people and in the boat and seeing how they act. Then the group that we ended up with, we actually have, I think, only 2 or 3 of the team have very strong dinghy racing background, and but we do have at least 4 sailors who have a sea scouting background, and that kind of tells that it's different values.
Absolutely.
When you race around cans,
Yep.
it's really aggressive, really
yeah,
egoistic. Everyone else is your enemy in the race course, but in a boat like this, you have to be a team player, and you have to help the person next to you. And in a small cramped boat, you give room to the next one who's passing you or putting clothes on or grinding a winch and so on. So it's nothing for rock stars. It's all about cooperation and kind of shared values and so on. So I'm super happy and proud also of the team.
Yeah, and it looks good. Now, see, I know for a fact that you're keen to promote the whole round the world racing thing and bring back what used to be there in the Whitbreads, because Finland was a big player back then.
Yeah.
And so now there must be a new saying, from dinghies to Olympics to around the world.
Yeah.
We've got 2 Finnish boats. We've got Spirit of Helsinki, Are you detecting you're getting a heap of press in Finland? Are you detecting people starting to talk? Oh, we should be doing this. We should be doing this. Like other sailors in Finland, you seen any of that yet?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's the home of Nordic Swan anyway. There's a heap of them lying around in marinas. There should be.
So I did.
So you must feel good about that.
I did the third whitbread, but in the fifth whitbread in 89, 90, which was the end of the happy 80s before the recession of the 90s began, and the economy of Finland was flourishing at that time. So we had 3 maxi boats from Finland taking part, which meant that there were more than 60 people taking part who are now or were about my age or slightly younger. So there's a lot of kind of stories in Finland and in the sailing families, and I think this will create more dreams and interest to do it again in next generation.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing amazing stuff. So anyway, Kaisla.
Sorry. Just before I forget it, you were just a little bit older than Kaisla when you first did the whitbread in 81.
Oh, wow, you were a little boy then.
Let's try, don't we?
Exactly, just imagine it. Holy dooly, it's scary.
You are 23, 24?
I was 23 with
23.
with even more pimples than now.
Tell me, because I was not really so much bored at that time. How was the feeling? Because today we are here at the start of the OGR. For me, it's the first whitbread experience. What was the feeling in the whitbread? Not the feeling you on your boat, the feeling, the atmosphere, why people around the world love so much the whitbread?
For myself, the experience of sailing in the Southern Ocean was absolutely the most important thing, and I've been a big admirer and fan of the Finnish square rigger sailors from the early 90s, and kind of getting down to the same waters and experience the circumstances and the long the rolling swells and spending the time in the Southern Ocean. That's the magic that I'm addicted to. I think there was an old Henry Lloyd slogan or advertisement with a black and white picture from Southern Ocean and the text that same planet, another world. I think that pretty much describes it.
But why you want to do a race in the spirit of the whitbread instead of a race like so many races today? Why you want to go back to that?
Well, I guess most old farts dream of getting back to your youth.
That's right.
Reliving the best things you have done.
Yeah, and it's possible now.
When I entered the Golden Globe race, I was asked that have you been dreaming of this? And then when I was the only one left before finishing the Golden Globe race, and Don was successful trying to keep my mood up by telling the secret that he's going to launch this race, and then I told him that I have never dreamt of sailing alone around the world, but I have been dreaming for more than 30 years of sailing the whitbread race again, and now he's making my dream come true.
Yeah. Okay, back to Kaisla. What are you most apprehensive about for the OGR once you're on the water after the start? What's your biggest fear or apprehension? Anything there that you can describe?
That's a hard one. I don't think I have that much fear of things. I think we're really prepared for almost anything I can imagine. Of course, there can be something we haven't even thought of, but probably just like anything that happens, like big storms, there's always something that can happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm that like fearful of them.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are you most looking forward to? What's after the start once you're underway? What's your highlight? What's drawing you into this, and will it give you what you expect, sort of thing?
I think just going and being on the ocean, being somewhere you can see the land anywhere, and going and living the like normal life of being like on the watch system and getting to be there.
Yeah. Pia,
Same question.
same question.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Things might happen, but as Kaisla said, we are very well prepared.
Yeah.
So I'm quite confident that everything will be
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so and is that born of the fact that it's obviously a strong team, great boat, and all this stuff, or is it deep within yourself, like a private sort of feeling? What's that?
No, I trust the boat and the team,
Yeah.
and more than that we can't do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's no use worrying about things that you can't
So what's the fun factor then? What's the big highlight?
Finally,
what are you looking forward to?
that we are finally going, and we are offline. It as you asked, it has been quite a lot in the project and the team manager. Until the 15th of June, I actually had a day job. Thank you to my employer and everything for the patience and everything. And yeah, because when we leave, there is absolutely nothing we can do anymore with the emails and WhatsApps and it's
Yeah.
That,
Tapio, any regrets? Any regrets at the moment? Something that you
No.
wanted to do that you haven't had time or the money to do, or anything like that?
No regrets, but still answering to the same question that the ladies were asked. That I think that the fact that I'm sitting here shows that how well we are taken care of, and we are going to have our safety check this afternoon. And I remember how frustrating it felt 5 years ago to do the first safety check for the Golden Globe race with the boat fully packed of all kinds of safety gear, and I thought that was this supposed to be a retro race, and but after having Asteria sink in the Indian Ocean, and I had 9 different satellite devices to send my position or information of myself. In the end, I had 2 of them functioning in the life raft, which shows that it's not in vain. It's no exaggeration. The very extremely demanding safety requirements that you have put into the notice of race of these races. And then when the ship finally did hit the fan, and the boat sank in less than half an hour, and I found myself alone in the Indian Ocean, I did feel safe. I knew that I was in safe hands, and you handled the situation once again in a very professional way, and I think that's the most important thing, which takes the kind of fright off, that we know that you have put us to prepare as well as one can prepare, and then if something happens, I think your the organization which is run by you is absolutely a world class act, and so everyone can feel safe. But of course, then in the end, it's every skipper's responsibility to see that the boats are that there's active safety, and everything is done in a safe way.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is it's a serious adventure, and every adventure has an unknown outcome, and the world's changed, and we do everything we can, the same as the entrance, to mitigate those risks and minimise them, but risks are still there. So yeah, thank you for the compliment, by the way. We've got a really good team. Georgie and Aida and Jane and Jack and Rob and Marco. Yeah, there's 8 of us.
I have now to
race.
remember him every time he loses one.
That's because I forgot Aida one day.
Absolutely.
Anyway, no, we got a great team, and for us it's really cool. You know, we're all this is our adventure, and it's a big family, so it's cool. Yeah.
But then, to be honest, I'm quite sure that if everybody, me included, when we leave Cape Town and head south, waiting for the first proper storm, that is. I wrote in my logbook that in the 2018 race that when the first deep depression was approaching, I was making the boat ready. I remembered the Finnish war novel Unknown Soldier, when the young soldiers were being taken close to the front, and they had their last practices before taken to have their first baptism of fire. So
Yeah.
it's pretty close to that feeling that
Yeah,
you know that soon it's going to be
Yeah.
real.
I couldn't agree more, because this is really the first time a sort of an amateur race or a bunch of ordinary sailors, you know,
Yeah.
with good leaders and stuff, are taking off around the world by the three capes.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so I'm always mindful of that. You know, so
Yeah.
as much as we're also mindful of the fact it's the first time in 30 years they've ever had a chance to do it. So it is very exciting. It's really we're having a good time.
Lionel,
So
who has an appointment.
it's okay. Yeah, we're just finishing. Yeah, he can wait. He's just a Frenchman, you know. Anyway, all good. So it's
I forgot to
fantastic.
mention it's a SWAN 55.
Yes.
Your boat.
Yeah, Galiani. In fact, the story is what Tapio was alluding to is as he's sailing up to the finish of the GTR, I did let you know, and I said, "Hey, Tapio, we're going to recreate the original Whitbreads." And I found a really cool boat. And I remember you saying, "What's the boat?" And I said, "It's a SWAN 55." And he said, "Oh, no, it's my favourite boat." And the day after you got in, I think you were on the phone ready to buy it.
Yeah, no, not the day after, but on my way from the pontoon to the stage,
Yeah.
where Yannick and everyone was welcoming me, I told them that I had got my mobile phone unsealed, and I told that I need to take a leak before going on the stage, but I didn't actually need to do that. But I checked the sales ad of Galiana.
Okay, all right, good fun. Thank you very much, Tapio. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Kaisla. Thank you, Ada.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tapio.
And
So,
we start again another live, I presume.
Yeah, we're
That
going to
the way?
start again, and we got to
So
check this one to
The
make
next,
sure.
the next is live or not live?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't-
yeah.
Anyway, the next web TV is with Esplécie d'équipe, about who already won the
Yes.
Whitbread with a Lionel, and he's coming today here to win the OGR2 with another Lionel.
Yeah,
And it will
one of our 90 French sailers.
Yeah, because we
crazy.
mentioned the French before. The French
Yes.
is half of your fleet.
I
no,
know.
McIntyre.
There's 90 French sailors in a fleet of 120. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jen. We're done. Ooh, thank you.
So, it's just because